I'm Laura Vitale, and in this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to share with you how to make one of my all-time favorite ice cream. It is hazelnut ice cream. It is one of my favorite flavors. I think it's probably like my #1 favorite flavor of ice cream, not including sorbet. That's a different story. But in terms of ice cream, it's my favorite flavor, and I can't wait to share this recipe with you because it's so easy, but so good. All you'll need for right now are some hazelnuts. Now, I already buy my hazelnuts peeled, but we need to really roast these to toast these to really intensify the flavor, but they're already peeled. If your hazelnuts are not peeled, you're gonna have to peel them, and you can find many tutorials online on how to do that, but my suggestion would be I find these at Costco, but if you just go on, Amazon, anywhere on the interwebs, you can find them already peeled because otherwise it's kind of a pain. And all you need right now is hazelnuts and some whole milk. What we need to do, like I said, is to really intensify the flavor of the hazelnuts. So you can do this in your oven, but I'm just going to do this on my stove top in just a dry skillet. I'm going to toast these really, really well until they're a beautiful golden brown, like much deeper color than this, and you'll smell them when they're really well toasted, and then we move forward. That is what you're looking for, and you can actually see the oils kind of releasing from the nuts. That's perfect. What I've got here is my ice cream, and my whole milk, and it is in a saucepan just coming to a simmer. What we're going to do now is we're going to add the hazelnuts to a food processor, and we're going to just grind them finely. I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. All right, that smells good already. So my milk is just about to a simmer. The hazelnuts themselves smell like hazelnut ice cream, just being blended. Oh, don't want to lose any of those. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully just make sure that I get every single little bit of this into the simmering milk. I'm going to turn the milk off, and I'm going to let the hazelnuts sit in there and steep for a good hour to an hour and a half, and then we move on to the next step. All right, so this has been steeping for about an hour and a half. Get rid of that. And now we have to just strain this through a fine sieve. Now, if you want like real precaution, you might want to strain this through not only a fine sieve, but a fine sieve that's been lined with some cheesecloth just to make sure that there's no graininess. But I'm actually going to go ahead and do this twice when we strain it again after the custard's been made. So I think it's fine, but if you want to make sure it's super duper smooth, then that's what you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and finish doing that. Could take a few minutes because you want to press it with a spatula just to make sure you get all that flavor out of there. And done. Takes a long time, but you want to make sure that you really press out every bit of juice. Actually, don't need this right now. That looks lovely. There is no extract of flavorings in here, nothing. It's just pure deliciousness. Now, actually what we'll do is we'll take the milk, the flavored milk, delicious. To it, we are going to add some heavy cream, and we're going to bring this to a simmer. While we do that, low heat, not a boil, because it'll split, but a simmer. While that happens, I've got egg yolks and sugar. I'm going to go ahead and add a good splash of my homemade vanilla. If you don't have really good homemade vanilla, plenty of seeds, you'll just want to use like a paste, like a vanilla bean paste. Add that good in there. I'm going to whisk this with my handheld electric whisk until it's really thick and pale, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. That is perfect. So here's what we do now. I'm going to add some of the hot liquid to the egg yolks to temper them, because if I were to add this straight into the hot pot, they'll curdle. The egg yolks will cook. Not in the way that we want them to. I don't want to have scrambled eggs. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just drizzle a little bit in here while whisking. So you're adding some air in there so it's not so hot. That's good. Oh, other way. Other way. Now we're going to add this to the pot with the rest of the liquid. You can really, really smell the toasted hazelnuts. I'm very happy because hazelnut ice cream is my favorite. And I'm very excited. Up next, it will have to be pistachio, because it's my mother's favorite and it's Joe's favorite. Add that in there. And now what I'm going to do is cook this very, very slowly until thickened. It could take about 10 minutes or so, but do not be tempted to crank up the heat because you'll just scorch everything and then it'll split and then it'll have a complete waste on your hands, and we don't want that. That is perfect. It's thickened a bit. It's not going to be thick like pudding or anything, but it has thickened quite a bit. It's been about 10 minutes or so, so everything is cooked. And now I'm just going to strain it just to make sure that there's anything that didn't get quite cooked or any eggs that have curdled or any pieces. It'll sit behind. Beautiful. I meant to say, in case there's anything that curdled while cooking, doesn't end up in our ice cream because I want it to be really smooth. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, but I'm going to make sure that the plastic wrap is actually touching the top of the custard so that you don't get that really weird film on top. And this is going to go in the fridge overnight. It has to be very well chilled before we add it to our machine, and just you wait to see how gloriously creamy it is going to be. All right, my ice cream base was in the fridge overnight and it has thickened really beautifully. Just want to give everything a stir. See, just kind of loosens up perfectly. I have got my ice cream machine ready. Now, if you're going to use an ice cream machine, which you have to for this recipe, most ice cream machines will have an insert like this one over here that needs to be in the freezer for at least 24 hours because this needs to be frozen solid. So make sure that you do that before you even get working on the custard. So ready to go. Now, every ice cream machine varies in time. Mine will take about half an hour or so for it to sort of like get that beautiful creamy like frozen consistency. So let's get this in. Lid on, and then just let it do its thing. All right, about a half an hour. As always, that insert is heavy. Look at that. That is perfect and gorgeous. I'm actually just going to pop it back in here, put a lid on it. I washed the container. Do not worry. Oh, but how perfect is that? Look at it. You could serve it right now. I'm gonna wait to serve it this weekend, which is just in a couple days. I cannot wait to have everybody over, make some pizzas outside, have a little hazelnut ice cream, little toasted hazelnuts and a little bit of grating of chocolate on top. Perfection, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it. Deeply, deeply toasted hazelnutty goodness right here. That is the hazelnut ice cream of my absolute dreams. It's pure, it's delicious, it's perfectly sweetened. Nothing else needs to be said. Just go to laurainthekitchen.com and get the written recipe, and when you make it, you'll know why it's just simply the best hazelnut ice cream ever. Let me know down below the other ice cream flavors do you like to see me make here on Laura in the Kitchen, and I'll go through them as the summer goes along. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.